Dak Prescott is throwing footballs again. Listen, Dak's injury was gruesome. I mean, one person thought it was potentially a cramp. The rest of the world thought it was maybe the worst injury that we had ever seen on a football field. So much so that some places actually had like the sensor over top of it, so you couldn't see it, or they blurred it out or whatever. That was obviously on a franchise tag year after his contract conversation was one that was being had by everybody on earth. They lock in a long-term deal. He's been doing his rehab with Dallas Cowboys affiliated doctors. So I think everybody within the Dallas Cowboys organization, Jerry Jones included, Dak Prescott included, thought they were going to be able to get a deal done. Even though there was some moments, I think publicly it seemed a bit contentious, they end up locking in a massive deal for Dak to stay down there. And immediately upon learning that the Dallas Cowboys doctors were treating Dak Prescott, we immediately thought, okay, so they must know something about his recovery and how he's doing. Here we are a few weeks later after the deal is signed, and he is throwing a ball. He looks like he is well on his way. This is courtesy of Damian Devon. He is throwing like little stop patterns out, just a simple little out route. The biggest thing for me that I noticed is when he stumbled out of frame, it was obvious that he was a couple months away, but the fact that he can flip his hips, pivot, and throw a ball about 25 yards at that point, I think it looks like, if I had to eyeball it, that is great news for all Dallas Cowboys fans, and I assume Dak Prescott is incredibly pumped with where he's at in his rehab.
Is he going to have to change his game, you think, in this season because of the injury?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe mentally he will.
Yeah.
Because a big part of coming off an injury is mentally.
Yeah.
Like you have to mentally be okay with a lot of things. The same situation that hurt you in the past, you have to be okay with it. You have to be okay with your rehab process, so much so that you're confident that the pain that you're feeling right now is normal and you can get past it and it's not going to do any more damage. That is a real problem. It appears as if Dak will be able to get past that. Most NFL guys, almost all NFL guys can, but that is something that doesn't get talked about as you're coming through your rehab. Brooks Koepka right now, I have no idea how he's doing what he's doing. It has to hurt so bad. He has to have a constant fear of potentially doing more damage with how bad it's hurting, but you're not going to. But just with the pain you're feeling, it's not normal to be like, yeah, this feels good whenever you're doing something. So that's a massive part of rehab. I would assume he's getting past all of that, and that's good news for the NFL. We get Dak Prescott back.
Well, it's a different sport, but like Paul George, Gordon Hayward, those dudes who had like terrible, disgusting injuries, they always said, look, it was 1 year of rehab and there was 1 year of like actually playing the game until they were comfortable again to do what they usually do.
I think Gordon Hayward said something about that as well after he came back from an injury. He said he didn't feel comfortable with his body, and it's not that your body can't do maybe what it was able to, and maybe it can't because you haven't built it back, but also when you rehab, you're reteaching things how to do very elementary level things. So like you're teaching your knee how to bend again and how to walk again. You have to teach yourself how to walk again, and at some points mentally you're like, I can't do it, but I don't know if it can do it. You start questioning a lot. Like my leg, I feel very confident how strong my leg is. Very, very, very confident. I always have. I worked my ass off on it. There was moments in my rehab where I thought I could potentially not even walk 15 feet because my knee couldn't keep up with it, and you have to be told, no, you're good, go. That's a big part of getting comfortable with yourself. It seems like Dak's all the way there. He's flipping his hips. He's pivoting off of that thing. Now, he's not digging in as much as you would think. When he drops out, it looks like he is limping a bit. He's not as comfortable. But man, if you got to be pumped if you're Dak's trainers or Dak's fans.
It's going to help him if he gets hit early too. Like Alex Smith, one of his first couple plays, he gave Aaron Donald a piggyback ride. And he's probably like, all right, I can do this again.
What did Aaron Donald say? He gave me a mother.
Leg strong.
Yeah, I think he said something like that. Because, by the way, now we know that Ron Rivera was not very comfortable with putting out Alex Smith. He was like, what happens? And I will. And Alex Smith was like, it seemed like there was maybe a little bit of a contentious conversation or a contentious feel to that whole thing. And if it wasn't for the Dwayne Haskins situation, which we still haven't really completely heard all of what happened there with him getting moved on, I don't think Alex Smith plays. But I would assume Aaron Donald, now he did hop on his back. I assume there were some guys that were like, we're going to break this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a chance we are going to break this dude. Oh my, no, not careful, but like, I don't think they would mind if.
Of course not.
You know what I mean? Like, especially D-line with quarterbacks. It's just like one of those things. But I assume there was conversations like, hey, there's a chance something terrible happens to this guy. Now, it would feel bad for the man or whatever, and then there'll be somebody else like, They're putting him out there, fuck him.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, yeah, you're 100% right. And that's where Rivera was probably like, I'm the one that's putting him out here. This is on me. Has Alex Smith signed anywhere?
No. We thought Jacksonville, but they signed they just signed somebody as their backup.
Man, I was all in on him going to Jacksonville, too. I actually said, this decision has been made. What are people talking about? He is not signed there yet. Maybe they'll wait for the draft. I don't know.